From here on out, every foul is flagrant, boy. Let's go. What's up? Came in a chokehold, more balls than Esco. All right, maybe
you are now tuned into the chat room, your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. I am the Senator. This is Season 3, Episode 16. And just to let you guys know that we're taking a 2-week break after this episode. So there's a special reason why this is the episode that we're going to take a break on. You guys will find out in 2 seconds. Trust me. So with me today, I got Coach.
What do you do? What's going on, yo?
I got Fanfair.
Going on.
I got Essay.
What's up? What's up? Nothing like Coach Sosa over there.
Hey, man.
None of that. But the reason why, like I said 2 seconds ago, why this was the one that we decided to take a break on after is because we are joined by a great guest. You've seen her on TV. Trust me, if you've watched the Raptors game, as much as you might be a hater, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm not a hater.
Expose them early.
I like hater. Expose them Canadian hater.
Maybe a hater, but still ended up at the parade somehow. But we got a special guest, Miss Kayla Gray. How are you?
Thank you guys so much for having me. And I guess for the viewers at home, we should also probably mention my son's in the backdrop. So if he pops up 10 minutes into your podcast, I'm sorry. My dog Russ is here. So if he pops up in the podcast 20 minutes later, I'm so sorry about it. And yeah, I feel like you have to working from home. You have to preface everything. You just got to let people know. You might hear unexpected sounds. You might see somebody. So I just want to let you guys all know. So on behalf of all three of us in this household, thanks for having us.
This episode features the Grays.
The Grays.
The Gray house.
The whole squad is here.
And it's so funny you guys get me out of quarantine. I am out actually of quarantine officially at midnight Eastern time today that this is recorded.
That's great.
Thank God. Everybody, but for people at home, I want to make very clear, I did not test positive for COVID. I obviously came in close contact with someone who had COVID. So that's why she was sitting at home, missed a couple of games, but I'll be back, of course, on the broadcast, which I'm really excited about. Unfortunate news, of course, that it is at 50% capacity, but the pandemic just gone pandemic.
Right. This panorama is never going to
Panorama is just not like that.
There's no stopping it. It's just going to keep going.
No. Oh my God.
The Omarion variant is just getting to everybody.
It's literally have you guys seen that Omarion dance that everyone's trying to do?
Yeah.
That's how it's spreading. That's how exactly.
The theme song for this variant is Touch. So let's just jump into check-ins. Kayla, we're going to get to know you a little bit in a little bit, but right now we always like to start it off with a check-in where it's just some lighthearted questions for the whole group. So this is a would you rather. We got a few questions. Let's see what you guys would rather. Would you rather ketchup on the side or on your fries?
on the side.
On the side.
On the side.
Ketchup on the side. On the side.
On the fries. On the fries.
Yeah, you would say that. You would say that, Francis.
When you spray it over, you're leaving it up to fate. You know, sometimes fate doesn't do an even distribution.
Yeah, how do you mix that though?
I gotta get it on the fries, and then I got a ketchup, whatever that I did the fries into as well.
You're
so
a
you just
ketchup
want
fiend.
You just want your ketchup with a dash of fries. That's what you're saying.
Oh my
right,
God.
exactly. Literally, he didn't make the order for the ketchup. The fries were just the add-on.
On the side, yeah.
He wanted to pay a whole
Probably
three.
hoarding all the packets.
He wanted to pay a whole $3.49.
I hate packet ketchup.
Ketchup's like $5 these days. So what he was trying to do was the system.
Yep.
For real. All right, next one. For me, it's on the fries. I'm not gonna lie. I allowed you guys to go through all that, so I waited till the end. So, the next one: crunch peanut butter or smooth peanut butter?
Oh, smooth and silky, man.
Yeah, smooth. Like I don't have to question anything.
I'll be eating a chocolate bar.
Like it's Fanfair
like you want to like double take. Like, is this like you know what I mean? Smooth peanut butter. You don't have to question. You just
all right.
It's there.
All right, Fanfair. What's your answer?
Oh Lord, you're quiet over there.
Listen,
a little nugget in his peanut butter.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
So I just moved in with my girl 2 months ago.
Okay.
And she put me on the crunchy ketchup. The crunchy.
Oh no, they got
peanut butter.
Crunchy ketchup.
they got my man Fanfair.
But I never even tried this stuff before. It's actually really good. And that's I don't know if I can go back. I don't know if I can go back.
So you're gonna be drinking orange juice with pulp in it, and oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. That's always comes next. It's crunchy peanut butter.
Crunchy peanut
next, you know, he's gonna be having raisins. You eat raisins too?
I like raisins.
I do. On my bagels, they're good.
They raisin with your prunes?
So for me, I don't eat peanut butter at all. I hate peanut butter. I had so much peanut butter sandwiches as a kid that as an adult, I can't even eat peanut butter anymore.
Wow.
mine is
That's
or.
a sad story.
You know what I've never had? I've never had a peanut butter and jam sandwich.
Me either.
Really?
Never had that.
Don't know what that like.
All the time.
Also, I'm Jamaican. Like, I didn't have a lot of peanut butter sandwiches as a kid. I would have corned beef sandwiches as a kid.
Corned beef? I had corned beef.
Yeah, we had that too. I'm Guyanese. We had that.
Yeah.
I was in the house with 3 other kids, and it was just what was the quickest lunch to make. All right, cheese sandwich or peanut butter sandwich. Here you go. That's your choice.
I just want to get over to why Fanfair felt the need to declare that he's Guyanese when it came to the bullying.
I was gonna get to something, but
well, Kayla says she's Jamaican, so I just wanted to say that Guyanese people eat corned beef sandwiches too.
Or beef corn. Is it beef corn?
No, it's corn. Listen, it's corn.
I wasn't gonna do it.
I wasn't do that.
I just set up the alley-oop.
To be fair, Guyanese people always love to enter the chat. So,
we need to know. I'm alone out here.
These South Americans claiming to be Caribbean. All right, so we're going to the next one. Guacamole or salsa?
Salsa.
Ooh.
Salsa for me. Salsa.
It's salsa for me too.
Guacamole now.
There we go. Team Guac. I like
Guac
it.
now. All right. Being the passenger or being the driver?
Oh, driver. I'm
definitely gotta be a driver.
I'm a Capricorn. Yeah. We like to be in control of everything.
Yeah, definitely.
That is absolutely correct, Kayla. As a fellow Capricorn myself.
Wait, when's your birthday?
Christmas.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
don't say it like that with such excitement.
And that is the highlight. You gotta share the time with Jesus.
I worked out a deal with Jesus, and I said,
if it makes you feel better, I'm January 2nd. Like everyone's broke the day before my birthday, so we don't go out.
Oh, your birthday's on Mayor.
Same as Mayor. Shout out Mayor.
Shout out Mayor. Yeah.
One of our friends, January 2nd.
Oh, well, my condolences to your friend. I know. Because people try to like put the birthday and Christmas present in one, and I'm like, no. Absolutely not.
I just have a rule now. I tell everyone I just don't give presents for Christmas. Like I don't give presents for Christmas because they get 2 days, I only get one. So just give me my present. That's it. If anything, you get a Boxing Day present. IG or Twitter?
IG.
Oh, I like Twitter because I like to pop off sometimes. And Twitter's fun to watch games on.
And Black Twitter is pretty fun.
Oh, Black Twitter.
They're entertainment. That's entertainment.
Please, Black Twitter is my spot. Like same time
I don't have Twitter,
day.
so IG for me.
I choose IG. I choose IG. But the toxicity on Twitter keeps me locked in. Like I don't tweet. I'm just reading through
I'm there with popcorn.
Right? I love 240 characters to get out your mess. Like,
And the ones that create a whole thread.
For all this like pretenders on there, like we can edit that stuff. Twitter, like
it's out there.
That's you. You better say it with your chest.
That's French fries or onion rings?
Crunch fries. What is an onion ring?
Ooh.
Who wants to press the kick? All y'all on this panel?
No, I'm French fries for me.
Ooh.
I'm French fries, so
French fries.
You guys eat
No,
onion
that's
rings?
for the first time.
That's what you say.
I'm onion rings, man.
Me
I'm
too.
onion rings.
Still.
I'm sorry. I'm an outlier.
look at the face.
I'm team
Look
O.
at the face.
Also, I'm like looking
French-
at how, this is like quarantine pale. Like I need pigment stacked.
That 10-day was a kicker.
Yeah,
Ooh, that 10 days said melanin. Don't know her.
Winter is a difficult time for us, man, for sure.
Oh my gosh! Like the skin's
the
getting
season of
KD
lotion.
dry. Like oh my god!
I just got some more cocoa butter, so that
Right? I literally
Were you inspired by Katie?
Like
I've been using that for years.
Levi is
Extra straight.
Levi's father's white. So I remember when he was young, he like would bathe my kid and not put lotion on him.
Oh boy!
Like, is this a thing?
No.
And like we're not saying, but we're fine. But I recently sent him the photo of Katie, and I'm like, and this is why you knock the brim with the cocoa lotion.
Yeah.
For sure. You gotta school them, right?
For sure.
Reading a
my
book
child.
or watching a movie?
Oh wow! I always fall asleep during movies now. I don't have it in me anymore. So maybe reading a book, but I also fall asleep during that too.
Which one do you fall asleep quicker in?
Less.
Movies for sure.
Okay.
I'm a cinephile.
Okay.
Really? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna kill me, but I fell asleep during King Richard.
I gotta see that.
2.5 hours for a film, bro.
I
Wrap
haven't
it up.
watched it yet.
It's
I still gotta see it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still gotta
I'm
watch
sorry.
it.
All the excerpts from Will Smith's book caused me not to be interested to watch the movie. So I may have to
It
go
was
watch
literally like honestly,
The book has nothing to do with the movie.
it. The person is actor is the problem. It's not.
But he's not even himself. He's King Richard.
Is he Will
Yeah, but-
Smith in real life?
exact. Thank you. We still waiting. The thing about King Richard, it was a beautiful film. Whatever. I'm supposed to say that on the count of but I just felt like it was like such a it was just such a please give me an Oscar movie.
Oh, it's Oscar bait?
It
Yeah.
is. I'm
I'm like, you don't need that much script. Also, this is supposed to be about Serena and Venus. Why have I only seen them 5% of this film?
Damn.
Wow. Did he do the famous Will Smith crying face with the quibbling lip?
He was selling. The Academy is going to have a great time with that.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
sure he's going to get
They already nominated him for like an Emmy.
He is on his world tour. The man's trying to get his award.
All right.
He needs to fire his PR. Roller coasters or water slides?
Roller coasters. Water slides are
coasters.
gross. Think about how many people have wedgies on a water slide. You want to go down that? Nope.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of water slides.
Facts.
Never.
Yeah, roller coasters for me.
Roller coaster for
Yeah,
sure.
roller coaster.
My heart can't take either. Christmas or Halloween?
Are you feeling old right now? Is that
I'm a
because your
proud
birthday's
50.
coming up?
Guys, look at my tree.
That's
Aw.
nice.
Oh, that's
So
that's a really
Christmas?
nice treat.
We bougie
Okay.
over here. Christmas, please.
Yeah, Christmas for me, favorite time of the year.
But it's only because my son shamed me into putting up my tree like 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, we don't put up Christmas trees till like the day before Christmas.
December.
You put up your tree in November.
He's like, Mom, where's the tree? Mom, where's the tree? I'm like, damn it. The damn tree.
I put my tree up like what 4 days ago, and it's just has lights on it right now. So
There's no decorations yet.
You do
Not
it in
yet.
a process?
in the
What is
process,
going
yo.
on?
So hold
Hey,
on.
listen.
When you put that thing up, when does it come down?
Whenever I get
Midnight.
time to. No,
Midnight,
So
Maybe-
March,
No,
March
not
31st.
Yeah,
March.
mine's not coming down to
Maybe,
March. Not in
maybe
this
like
pandemic.
January, February, maybe.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
pandemic,
maybe,
this
yeah.
will be up
Mid-January.
by next year.
Yeah,
No one's coming to my yard, so who would know?
yeah.
I just put a
That's
picture
true.
of myself up.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Rather start work late or leave work early?
Leave work early.
Leave work early always. I mean, also, but my line of work is not
Sporadic.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart. Okay.
Facts.
Like I do shows at 1 a.m. to catch up with like the West Coast times and of start times, right? So everyone's like, yeah, can't relate. I get my 8 hours of sleep.
I mean, I kind of get it because being over in Calgary, like we're 2 hours behind. So like,
yeah,
I kind of get it. So like when we're like doing episodes and stuff, I gotta take into consideration that okay, if I say we're gonna do episode at 9 o'clock my time, well, that's 11 o'clock Toronto time. Yeah, so it doesn't work, right? So,
so wait, what time is it your time now?
He's trying to schedule episodes
right
during scary hours.
4:30.
4:30 right now.
4:30.
So I'm gonna say this: leave work early because I literally had to leave work early to come record this. So that's gonna be my answer. So
I'm so sorry.
Is there an explanation to your work?
Oh, I told them I got a very big interview I gotta go home to do, and they're like, "All right, cool." I was like,
"No cap, no cap, no cap."
So, and the last one: shopping online or shopping in a store?
Shopping online.
Online. I'm too lazy.
I don't really like.
I
this
gotta
pandemic
see it.
has made me strange with people.
Yeah.
I don't
Hordes
like
of people.
I don't like shopping. Period. But me shopping online is it's disastrous because I just don't stop buying anything.
Facts.
So whenever I go into the store, like since I hate going to the store, I know that okay, well I'm gonna go get X, Y, and Z. I'm just gonna go walk in, get it, and get out. So I can do that very efficiently, unless I'm shopping with people. But yeah,
I'm in the store. I engage and work with the public on a regular basis, so you know how to navigate. So I'm like Ezio from Assassin's Creed, moving into the crowd, get my target, and I'm out. No.
Y'all heard Levi, right? So sorry about that. Our special guest, Levi Fox, is definitely up in the place. So
no worries.
I don't know. For me, like I don't like shopping in person, but I also don't like shopping online. So, which one do I hate the most? Probably shopping online because I'm in the same way like Coach. Like I'll go on there for like one thing and then all of a sudden like my Amazon checkout is like at 20 things and I'm like, I don't understand why this happens. So
and that's being IKEA.
And Amazon Prime is like it's so crazy because like you get caught up in I'll be here in 2 days. And before I know it, I have like 10 things in my basket.
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
You need to practice
shopping in person. You have it right now, like that right moment.
Now. Exactly.
Right? So again, when I go to IKEA, I go there for like a tea kettle. I come out with a whole kitchen. IKEA new cabinets and everything.
IKEA's for breaking up relationships, so just be safe when you go there.
Oh my goodness!
The kids section, like pre-pandemic, it's the greatest form of birth control because them kids are wild.
I agree.
I love you.
Nothing but love for the special guest, I tell you. The special guest. Coach.
All right, Kayla. So we're just gonna jump into this. Kind of just going from the top of everything. Who were some of your role models growing up?
Oh my gosh, nobody. No kidding. I always joke that I would like illegally stream ESPN feeds so I could like watch Lisa Salters because she's like my favorite human being ever. And it's so wild. I feel like she just like hit a milestone of like 10 years on Monday Night Football or something at ESPN. Like she's just to me, she's like my GOAT. Like she's the greatest. The ways that she's able to like do football sideline and then just be so prepared and like so on it for like NBA sideline. She's so well respected. And then also she's in like the big rooms for like the long feature storytelling pieces, like the E60s and you know 30 for 30. So yeah, Lisa Salters was someone that like I grew up watching, and like her, Pam Oliver, you know, Robin Waters, like just dope Black women in sports, like that. Those are people that I had to like really like illegally search and find. And I'm just so glad that I found them because they just gave me permission to like want to be in this space.
For sure.
That's dope. I mean, like kind of going off that, like your journey from like where you started, like, being a Black kid growing up in Toronto to like now being a journalist, sportscaster, working closely with the Raptors, like all that stuff. Like, what was that journey like for you? Like, kind of take us down that path. Like, how have you been so successful?
I don't even know. Jesus. Sometimes I'm like, am I still successful? Like, what the hell? How did this life happen? And it's so funny because I had a really good conversation with someone about sometimes feeling like I have to like repeat my story so often, but not for people, but for myself to like validate me being in spaces, as opposed to just like being in spaces and being like, F if you know where I'm from. Like that's up for me and my business, right? But on the strength of us people, I will share that like, yeah, growing up was a little bit tough for me. I'm the kid that got kicked out of 2 high schools because the first high school I went to, I was couch surfing at 15 and I was skipping a bunch of school so I could make ends meet.
Wow.
And so I missed a ton of school, and school like was not the way that it was formatted and structured. It just was not for me. And I just felt like I didn't have a lot of adults in my life, and especially in a space where you spend 8 hours a day, that led with a sense of empathy for my situation. And so it completely, like, honestly, like discouraged me from like wanting to continue to go there or even feel safe in going to school. So I struggled a lot. And then I went to Victoria Park Collegiate. That was a little bit of a better experience, but then I ended up getting into like the alternative school system. And then, graduating, and then I finished up at an adult learning center, which is funny because it's like 10 minutes away from my house now. And so that's basically like where I felt a little bit better about thinking that I had the right to dream and go back to the dream that I always wanted, which was this job. I was like one of those weirdo kids that kind of always knew what they wanted to do. Like I always knew I wanted to be in sports some way, shape, or form. I just love it. I love the way that it makes my heart beat fast. I love debating on things. And I was shit at playing it. Oh my God, am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yep,
you can bleep that out, right?
Go ahead.
Oh,
You're safe. You're safe.
Well,
Now we can really, now we can really get into
now we
it.
can get into shit. Now we can get into it.
You now gave us permission to.
my child is here. But anyways, but no, I just I remember the adult learning center was so powerful for me because one, I was at school at a little bit of an older age. And so that meant that I had to be so much more intentional about finishing school and about coming up with an actual plan, as opposed to just sort of like coasting and letting society tell me at like 15, 16 where I was going to end up. And I had such great support in that. So I would like, feel courageous enough to like apply to like the Ryersons or U of T's and whatnot. So there was that. And then I got into College of Sports Media, which is like a 2-year program, super hands-on, amazing teachers. And I think for me and my learning style, it worked so well. And so, yeah, so from there, that was basically like how this whole thing got started. I interned with the Argos also while I was in school. So shout out to CFL because I was up in those streets. And yeah, it's so interesting because I feel like if you just like are starting to know me, you just think that I popped up on the spot like 2 seconds ago. But like, girl's been in these streets for like almost 10 years now, like back to that internship. These things take so much work and time and yeah, just so many ups and downs, moving, going smaller market, coming back, building my way up. When I first entered TSN, I was just a radio producer. I should say because radio producers are dope and so powerful in our industry. But I started out, they're so necessary. I started out as a radio producer, and truly like that has taught me so much because look, we're back at home in our spaces, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, built my way up from there, started doing some more grassroots stuff with TSN, BioSteel All-Canadian basketball game, which is funny because it's like all those guys are now leagues. So it's like Lou Dort. I remember interviewing him for his back-to-back MVPs. And now look at him, right? So you kind of grow with these people and then you now all of a sudden have your own show and those guys are back on your show. So this is how this industry works.
That's dope. That's dope.
Sure. That's crazy.
Right. So Kayla, with you being a Black woman in the media and in the public eye, what are some of the frustrating things you had to deal with and also had to overcome?
Oh my gosh, I think the biggest thing that I had to overcome was like comfort in my skin. And that was like a lot of self-work. Like, I'm very fortunate that I, have the resources to go to therapy, because therapy really helped me a lot from just the transition in mindset. Like, for me, I came from a place of like survival mode, right? Like someone who at a time was like scrapping for everything to make ends meet. And then I'm jumping into a new place where things are a little bit more comfier for myself financially. But also too, like when you're kind of like having to fight every single day and prove that you can do it every single day and wake up and feel like you have to fight every day. And then now I'm in like a different place where it's like, I can chill a little bit. I can say no to things. I can be intentional about projects that I take on. I would never say those things before, but now I'm comfortable, and that takes a lot of self-work. And that was, I think, the hardest part, was realizing that like I'm a grinder by nature and by circumstance, but sometimes that can hinder me because rest is so important and self-care is so important, and pouring back into yourself is so important, and spending time with your kid is so important, because it helps give you context. I relate to certain players on a completely different level because we live life and we talk about our kids. We talk about things that matter, or we connect on our views about social justice, or we connect on our views about the outside world, because we understand that the game is so beautiful. It's given us so much. It's gifted us so much. But there's life outside of that, and it's bigger than that. And there's ways in which we can use this platform that we've been so blessed with to help that outreach. So that's one of those things. Also, too, I definitely talk a lot different than a lot of people in sport media. I definitely, obviously, look a lot different than a lot of people in sport media in this country, and I dress a lot different than a lot of people in this space. And that I didn't just show up confident. That took a lot of work too, to get to a place where I'm just like, nah, this is just me. Because you feel like when you're in these like predominantly white spaces, you have to like shed so much of who you are in order to fit in, not rock the boat, make people feel comfortable with you being up in there. And then I'm just like, but now I'm starting to lose who I am. I'm starting to lose the twinkle in my eye, and I'm starting to lose the love for this. And I'm starting to lose who I fought to be. And it's like, I've had so many, I've had one near-death experience in my past life. I've had so many times where like life didn't go out my way. And I feel like at one point, there was a point where I'm just like, the life stuff, like, and you have to transfer it to like the professional stuff of like every day that you get to show up on television and wear your sneakers, have your hair and braids, talk the way that you want to talk. Like you are doing that for the 15-year-old you. And so you can't like not do that because of what people who don't understand what you've been through to get to this point. And so it's like, I always do everything I say for the 15-year-old me. I think it's funny because Virgil Abloh had said that I create for like the 17-year-old me. And it's like that I think has really helped jog my confidence. Because I'm not the most confident person in the world. I'm not even yet 30. So of course there's still so much learning that still has to happen. But those are like the biggest challenges. And that's outside the work stuff. Holy shit. I'm giving you guys the deep talk first. Damn.
That's all
dope,
good.
We're just glad you feel comfortable enough to
oh my gosh, of course.
Sure.
This is what happens when we're amongst our people. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And before Essay goes, because you brought him up, let's just say rest in peace to Virgil.
For sure, man.
Let's give him his props.
Yeah, I think
big influencer.
No matter where you land in the space of, whether or not you agreed with his views, or you liked his clothing, or you liked his style, I think as Black people, to see us in spaces that were not welcome, and to like not just like be there, but to like own the space and expand to a point where it's like you saw Virgil's work everywhere. Like I have
Everywhere,
Kanye's, I have a Virgil piece right back here, right? And so I think that to me, that's the legacy shit, man. Like that is the legacy stuff that I feel like we should all strive for, and not necessarily on like the Virgil scale, but in how we treat each other day to day, how that can make a lasting impression on certain people, how we inspire people, how we don't stop creating, how we have podcasts like this, how we're leaving work at 4:30 just to pursue our passions. Like
3:30.
3:30. That's the legacy stuff, right? Like that. Those are the things. That's how we help feed what makes our heart beat fast. And I really hope that we all take lessons from Virgil, never to stop always chasing what makes our heart beat fast.
For sure.
Mic drop.
I mean, damn, she's a mom, eh? You can tell I'm a mom now, huh? I can only talk about this stuff with the adults in the room. My kid, I'm like, honey, gotta take life real serious. You gotta dream big. He's like, Mom, can you put on Paw Patrol?
Check.
Yeah.
There you go.
We can hear you now.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
On the west, it's because you got all that Raptor gear on, man. That's why.
Wow, you say that in front of Raptors
They don't
royalty?
want to see you win.
No shame, eh? How's the Lakers doing, by the way?
Oh,
Hey,
Lord have
man.
mercy. How's the
Fine,
league
man.
doing, guys?
We'll be fine.
Yeah, you guys are getting sea golf early. Yeah?
I don't even know.
After you guys.
This is honestly, it's we day to day. Day to day. That's literally, it's an injury report on the world right now. We're day to day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I want to go back, not way back, but just back to March 24th when you were a part of NBA history by being part of the first all-female broadcast.
So weird, right?
So just tell us a bit of just how that came to be. What's the real story behind that?
Okay, so there's this fabulous guy named John Wiggins. I don't know if you guys know, he's he heads the D&I initiatives for the Raptors. And I think for a long time, for years, he's just been wanting to see this come to fruition. And so, he kind of talked to the powers that be at TSN about making it happen. And myself, Kate Burness, Amy Audibert, Kia Nurse, Megan McPeak, all of us did the damn thing. And that was just such a special day because, honestly, these people individually are just so dope at what they do. And I think that it was just nice for us to be all right, y'all get this press out about this being the first and yada, yada, yada. We get the history, but let us cook, let us do our thing. And I feel like we honestly did show up, and I thought it was probably one of the best broadcasts I've been a part of. Truly, not just because it was historic, but just what it meant and how it showed, and especially for the women of color in the room, that blackness is not monolith. We are all different. But also too, just what women are capable of, which if you didn't know, I'm sad. That's not y'all. It was such a great day. And what was great was I was talking to a friend who was in the bubble at the time, and I call it the bubble B, Tampa. And the players were looking at her and being are they doing a good job? Are they? How's the broadcast going? So I think everyone was really invested in seeing people do well, which was nice.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you guys did an amazing job on that.
Amazing job.
Yeah, you got some extra
Now y'all
on that
now
for
you're
real.
forced to say that because I'm sitting here.
We were talking about
We were supposed to talk to you that day.
Here we are talking about it. Was such a great day, and honestly, I think next year we'll have plenty more broadcasts.
For sure. That's necessary.
That's dope. Yeah, for sure.
So has things really really much for you since that moment?
I think that moment coupled with just so much, right? And it was such a busy time. Raptor season was underway. I was also hosting March Madness with Kia Nurse at that time. Oh my gosh. When did my show debut? I guess my show debuted this year. So still an ideation process of my show. This guy over here, there's just so much going on. But yeah, so much has changed, and I'm so blessed and fortunate, and like this season to be with the team full time. That I feel like has been such a beautiful blessing because this was actually the dream for me. I actually just really wanted to be a Raptors sideline reporter. And now like that's what I get to do. But God is so good that I get to do that, and I get my own show, and I get to still do SportsCenter, and I'm healthy and all the things, right? Like it's so funny because when you think you're ready to do something, and you're like, why isn't that working?
I agree.
Find a way. It's your timeline is always different than the timeline that's supposed to happen, and it's so beautiful that when you arrive to where you've always worked to be, it's better than you would have ever dreamed. So yeah, I'm so happy guys.
Oh, well deserved.
Thank you. Well, maybe I should start asking, what do you guys think about the broadcast?
Well, you gotta if you're gonna ask that, you gotta ask.
You're like, well,
specific people, right? Because they're gonna have different takes on it. So, Coach, what do you think about the broadcast?
That was amazing. I mean, just to be able to see women in that space that you haven't seen before, I'm like people that know me know that I'm all about empowering people to do things, you know. So like having women in that space like that to me was a special moment to me, you know. So that's it.
I think just seeing our people in that space, you know, like straight up showing them what it's like to have your broadcast with some proper seasoning on it. That's how I felt, right? Like, straight up. Yeah, it sometimes need a little spice, a little scotch bonnet, some jerky.
Not all the salt and pepper. A little bit more.
No, but I think that's like why it's so important, right? Because I just feel like, and it's with my show, I just want my people to feel seen, and like not necessarily just people that like look like me, but people that think like me, add nuance to these conversations, at a sport like me, complain like me, debate like me. I feel like we are out there and in volume, but sometimes we just feel so unseen by general media.
I think for me personally, I enjoyed the broadcast, right? But the proud moment of the whole situation for me was before the broadcast even happened. Because I was at work and I knew it was happening that day, but I wasn't like still had to get back home to watch it. But my Instagram, the stories and the posts were pretty much all, this is happening tonight. This is happening tonight. Like everybody was promoting it. So I was like, that look already, even before it even happened, was such, you could tell the cultural impact that it was going to have from that moment. And then seeing you guys do such an amazing job on the actual broadcast, living up to and surpassing the hype that was there going into it was amazing to see.
Wild.
I definitely, you know what? I'm not gonna go into it.
All right, go on.
No, you started it.
No, I say I definitely enjoyed it more than the regular Raptors broadcast.
Ooh.
Oh, you ain't got an opinion.
All right,
just a Laker fan over here.
I'm just saying, like, but I definitely enjoyed it than the regular broadcast. So again,
it felt like it had more seasoning to it. You know?
For sure.
It's definitely something we should normalize. Like, as historic and as great as it was, it's good to see that could be the step to this being a normal thing. So it's no longer like a historic thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now it's something we're used to.
Amazing you say that, yeah, because part of like kind of a little bit off topic, but like the whole stuff with like when the cops got in the whole like the not George Floyd, but like the Ahmaud
Arbery
got shot. Yeah, like even in that whole stuff, like us being surprised that people were brought to justice, like this kind of thing, like this broadcast to me, it was like, okay, well, we shouldn't be surprised that stuff like this is happening. Like this needs to happen more often. You know what I mean? Like, so like it was a little off topic, but like that's what I thought about.
It happens everywhere. Like, for example, WrestleMania this year, they advertised it as the first Black women's main event, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be
so
that.
Like it was Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I haven't watched wrestling in so long.
And it was like, at this point, I remember a couple of years ago, it was like, oh, it's the first women's main event. Like, and people were like shocked by that. And then this one was advertised as the first black women's main event. And it's like, all right, when can we stop using that? It's the first, right? Like, let's just appreciate it for what it
like
is.
Annoying at this point. I like, you know, as someone who was the first black woman to host a sports flagship highlight show, you always are like, when the am I going to be like not the first and like one of, right? So
one of,
But I think you being part of the first opens the opportunity for them to see it, right? And once they see that, oh, it should have been this from time,
makes
especially
it real.
Now when like things like broadcast as a whole needs like a kick to it. You know what I'm saying? People have so much access to information now that it like broadcast needs to evolve a bit faster with it, and we need to kind of do away with the old way and start kind of adapting the new and be adaptable.
But you know who gets the change is the fans. And I think that I always have to say, like, I don't think audience really knows its true power, right? Like, how many times have we seen audience fair reaction, right? And the next day someone has to put out a public apology. I think that when we think on like Twitter or things like that, like, if we haven't realized by now how we have the ability to make culture move or to make business move, now's the time to tap in, especially when it comes to your money, what you're paying to see, what you're paying to watch. Y'all paying for cable, right? Like, if you're paying for cable and you are feeling like what you're watching on television is, I mean, if you're not, then okay, we can have.
I'm just enjoying conversation.
Whatever you are doing to get your television and what's on your television screen, that's still your money and also your time invested. And while I would say that fans aren't the expert in broadcast, you go to school for that. You get your chops in for that because some trolls really like to try me sometimes. There is influence. And there should be influence. You should be able to influence what you see as a collective on your television screen. And I think the bare minimum should be diversity. And it seems as though the bare minimum as an audience is all that we're asking for. So, yeah.
For sure. Essay, you want to ask the next one?
Was that on me? Oh, yeah. Okay. So you just finished your quarantine. Congratulations. Or you're about to finish. So congratulations.
Thank you guys. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. I'm going outside.
Happy pre-release. But just how else has COVID kind of impacted your career with journalism and broadcast?
Oh my gosh, it's really brought me back to like the old school days when I was in Prince Rupert, British Columbia, and like setting up my own camera shot and editing my own stuff and recording my own stuff. Like, that's honestly how things have changed. But also too, it's done so much good. Like, you know, even in the last 10 days of quarantine, going through things, my schedule, what did I say yes to that I honestly didn't need to say yes to? What did I say no to that I should have or paid more attention to? I'm also the loser that looks back on broadcasts and makes notes of things that I could do better. And I'll probably never stop that, but that's just how I work on my craft. So the pandemic definitely gives you a lot of time to do that, I feel like. But yeah, no, and it also like allows you and you to get a little bit more creative with how you're storytelling, you know, in these formats in Zoom and whatever, like you can only do so much. And as an audience, when you're watching stuff, your eye likes to dance with what's in the background and a face-to-face conversation. And it's a massive difference between, for example, now I'm back on the sidelines, when you're having that one-on-one conversation, as opposed to like when we were doing it picture, like side by side, right? There's connection. And so when you're kind of realizing how much of a privilege and luxury to have that connection again, it is for television, you don't waste it. So you spend way more time preparing for it.
For sure. So we only got 2 more questions for you. So the first question is, going through your journey of broadcasting, what has been your most memorable moment, or what has been your best interview, your favorite interview? Which you can give one of each. You can give one.
Oh my gosh.
Like you said, 10 years in here, right?
I always get asked like the favorite interview question, and I always not that I forget who I've interviewed in my life, but like I feel like the best is always yet to come.
Yeah.
But favorite moments is realizing how dope Allen Iverson, who is my favorite basketball player of all time, is in real life. Like, oh my God. First of all, the last time I saw him, it was with that Chicago All-Star, and he had this long mink coat. And he was like dragging on the floor, and he went to like hug Dame. And I'm like, you fucking icon. Like, but also in 2016, he was in 2016 was our last All-Star in Toronto, I believe.
Yeah.
And he did a questions with Reebok. Like there was something at like this capsule area, and he was just going on and just like gems and stories and like, oh, like when he stepped over Ty Lue and you know, crossing up MJ and like going up against Kobe, and just like you just realize like, wow, like this guy has seen so much. Personally, professionally, but also he swayed so much. Like think about like culture and dressing the way that you want to dress, you know, like all of those things he never lost. And I feel like that also is what made him so relatable. And like at that time I was just like, radio wasn't on television, but I brought my little camcorder to be like, can I just like ask you a couple questions? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm like, sir, what? Like, but like, yeah, he just like a very dope human being. And I'm big on energy. Like there's some people and the, you know, energy's off. Energy's a bit jade, like, you know, just like big time.
For sure.
Bad mind.
Super grounded man. Very super grounded man.
Yeah, you definitely get that when you watch his like interviews on like All the Smoke or like whatever stuff he's on. You definitely get that vibe from him. And shout out Iverson. He's definitely the reason why I grew my braids in high school.
Yeah,
I had the fishbone too.
I had the headband with the NBA sign in the back. I had my sock on my arm.
The Sixers jersey and the bandana.
I got Sixers jersey, but yeah.
Well,
I
moment when
I always had a Kobe jersey. That moment I was pissed off at that moment. As a Laker fan,
enjoyed that moment.
I was so mad. I'm like, why the hell is Tyronn Lue guarding this guy? I was
well,
so
you found out real quick.
real quick.
I was so mad.
And for those that that don't understand what Kayla's talking about, also go back and watch Allen Iverson's Hall of Fame speech, and you can see how grounded and how thankful he was for everybody that helped him get to that point.
Even the people that hated him, and I'm like, bro, you don't need to thank them. You don't.
Yeah, that's true, man.
So our last question for you, Kayla. What advice would you give to young girls, young people trying to get into the journalism game, trying to get into the broadcasting game, and how can they achieve their goals?
Jesus. I mean, it's two ways. I want to say you're probably the smartest people walking into these rooms because of the knowledge of social media and like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. It's the ways in which we now see that you can communicate and reach people, the ways in which that you're able to reach. So with that, I say, just do, don't plan, just do. Like now you literally have platforms. But with also that being said, and I have to like caution is this comes with work. This comes with work and preparation. And I can only be funny and I can only show up dressing the way I dress and having personality the way that I have because I'm prepared. You don't just show up on the job. And so, you know, that to me is like one of the biggest things is like, not that you're going to know everything. And when you don't know everything, ask, but also like stay curious in that you will never know everything. And I think that curiosity helps bring very genuine questioning. So yeah, there's that. And also too, if you feel like you're a weirdo like me, there's space for us. And I hope that like my journey, but like the journeys of like so many other people in this industry our age, shows you that there is room for people that look like us, that talk like us, that have style like us, that connect with the culture the way that we do, that call shit out the way that we do. There's room for us in this space, and there's room for us to make money and also ask for money. We don't do things for free.
Right.
Obviously you have to discern things, right? Like when you're just starting out and you're just trying to get your reps, like that's a whole different conversation.
No discounts either.
Yeah, exactly. No hometown discounts. Because our culture is worth so much. And I think that's also the key too is, when you're in these spaces and you're with your people in these rooms where they would never let us share your information. Don't be afraid to tell people how much you make. Don't be afraid to tell people how you got places or connect people or this, that, and the third. Obviously, the trusted people. But when we arm each other with information, we're so much stronger against these big boss people and these systems that work to keep us over here.
Mic
and
drop
that's
moment.
Other marginalized communities. We've seen a lot of other marginalized communities thrive because they look out for each other. When houses go on the block, they're calling up their cousins and being like, listen, this is how much I paid for this mortgage right here. And I seem to have, it's not to say that we don't, because listen to me, if 2020 didn't show us anything, it's that despite what people like to say about Black people, and they try to pull that bullshit about Black on Black crime, like let's talk about white on white crime, but that's a whole different thing for another day. Black people are fucking organized. Don't ever play us. We will organize. And if you didn't catch the message, that's why the NBA paused its ass, because we're fucking organized.
Shout out Giannis and the Bucks.
Okay, but the point is that we're organized, and so with that, knowing that what we know about the ways in which we move collectively, because we don't get Tulsa if we don't move that way. It's literally in our lineage. Now we bring that to the business room and the boardrooms, and that's how we really crack open the doors.
Agreed. Yeah.
Tell them.
Period.
Tell them.
Perfect way to end.
Wow, my lips are really dry, huh? Shit.
I want to hear some juicy behind the scenes stuff too. But I think it's a good place to end it. We'll save that for next time.
Let's save that for next time. So we've reached a part of the podcast where we get to promote our social medias and anything else that we might be working on. So, Kayla, as our esteemed guest, you get to go first.
Kayla_Gray on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok. And if you want merch, please hit me up in my DMs. The Shift. Obviously, that's my show. We're hopeful for season 2. If you're not following us already, it's at The Shift_sports. And we blackity black on that front too.
Black.
But yeah, those are the places in which you can reach me. But obviously, you can see me on SportsCenter, TSN platforms, and of course your Raptors broadcast.
For sure.
Dope.
It's like I've done this 10 times before, huh?
I think so. I think you got a little media training. I think
you're cut out for this business.
Yeah, cut out for the business for sure. Yeah. Fanfair.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram, Chaz CHAS_Tenenbaum.
Cabby certified.
Cabby certified.
If
you didn't know Kayla, Cabby certified.
Cabby certified.
Oh, wow.
He certified that name.
Cabby certified.
Chaz Tenenbaum.
At the end of season 1, and it hasn't ended since.
That certification has no expiry. It's like bully beef, yo.
Oh my goodness.
This guy.
Wow.
I can't.
My Instagram is real_deal_Francis, and just trying to get back in the gym, man. We're on break right now until second semester. We're about to go to BC to go play Keanu, VIU, and UBC. Hopefully we're in Toronto in March for nationals. So busy man right now, but gotta love it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Essay.
So my personals is at Pro Chatterbox, and our Blackity Black podcast, Talks with the Chatterbox. That socials is at Chatter Talks, and our website is www.chattertalks.tv.
There you go with a radio voice.
For sure.
He put it in.
Yeah, anytime.
He's trying to show me out.
I think
radio voice
that was his audition to get a job with you, Kayla.
I hear you.
That was his audition.
Message.
I hear you.
Message.
He said, if you ever need a special guest for the shift, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm available.
I hear you.
As for me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Senator. Don't forget to check out the Not So Soft podcast. Comes out every Monday now. We changed it. No longer Friday. We start your week off now. So Not So Soft pod with myself, Nino Rockwell, and Kino the Great. Don't forget to check out the Chatroom Podcast on Instagram. Make sure to hit that follow button at the.chatroompod. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and share the Chatroom Podcast on all audio platforms, and especially on the YouTube. And the reason why I'm saying the YouTube is because our next episode coming from break is going to be one that you definitely are going to want to watch. So make sure to go check out the Chatroom Podcast. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Also, I want to say thank you to all the people that came out for my birthday celebration at Joey's Chinook. I appreciate all the love, especially with the fact that moving to a new city, it takes a while to build up a good amount of friendship to have people come out. So I appreciate all that support. And before we end off, Kayla, we got to say thank you for making the time to come.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys.
Come on our platform.
Of course. Thanks for having all three of us. We really enjoyed our time here.
It was fun, and three of us are always tuned into the Raptors broadcast.
Facts.
Maybe you might have just converted the next person to join in.
I watched the Raptors I watched the last game. I will say that. How'd that game turn out?
I wasn't on the last game, so oops.
I know.
I just want to know how that game turned out, guys.
I would have been different if Kayla was there. All right, so
we missed our presence.
yeah.
Exactly, we missed our presence.
You're right. Okay.
But this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.